So there has already been some drama in the new TUF season with Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. There has been reports that Conor has been removing contestants to make room for his own fighters. Chris Curtis responded to this saying, "Most definitely true. What a f***ing asshole." Somebody replied to Curtis saying, "Source, trust me, bro." Curtis replied saying, "2 friends of mine got bumped." Chris Martino, who fought Sean O'Malley a while back, was apparently supposed to be on this season of TUF, but was removed. He posted this to his Instagram. He wrote, "Thank everyone that has been congratulating me, but I'm making this to say that I'm not actually on the show. I spent the time out there believing I was going to be on the show. The day of filming, they told me I was an alternate. Things happen for a reason. I'm home. Fight news should be coming soon." Conor has responded to this. Conor replied to Chris Curtis. He wrote, "Not true. I only know one guy on this show, and he put himself forward to do it. And he is now, after today, set to fight the #1 seed. I didn't ask nor request nothing, and I certainly didn't have people removed. I'm just trying to get back in the mix myself, so f*** off." Paulo Costa made a parody of Conor McGregor's ad for his Proper 12 Apple.
Ladies and gentlemen, every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. In 1991, I was born and the world was introduced to me. I am a rich and smooth blend with a powerful Brazilian body that has been aged for 31 years. This is liquid gold. But now we have a new liquid gold, the secret juice. With some notes of ginger and a little bit of secret juice was formed by hard-trained, lift weights, running, hard set, and many executive decisions by yours truly. We work so hard to create this delicious flavor, but a drink that will give you back everything that you left in the gym. We only have one size of secret juice because we don't have that kind of money yet. Best of all, ladies and gentlemen, it will be on shelves very soon, maybe in April or May, maybe July. Who knows? How do you like the apple? There is no apples in secret juice. Or maybe there is.
Beneil Dariush says that after watching Islam vs. Volk at UFC 284, it confirmed his beliefs that Islam has multiple holes in his game. Speaking to MMA Junkie Radio, Beneil said you start to see holes in their games that might not even be there. You're only seeing these holes because these inhuman men are colliding, these great fighters colliding, so you start to see these things. I thought it was a great fight from both perspectives. Volkanovski just confirmed my beliefs because I didn't really have any tape on him besides the Sarukian fight. But Volkanovski was able to confirm my beliefs on what I thought his game was lacking and what exactly I could take advantage of. What did surprise me and what I saw was that Volkanovski carried his chin a lot higher than what I expected. He carried his chin high when he finished a lot of these combos. So I saw some new things in Volkanovski's game that I didn't see in other fights. So that's what I saw. I thought they were both great. An unstoppable force meets an unmovable object. It felt like that. These are very good fighters. Some might say #1 and #2. The only reason I don't say that is because I believe I'm the best in the world. So there's some of the best fighters coming at each other. At Knucklemania 3 last night, former UFC heavyweight Greg Hardy was knocked out cold. Leading up to the fight, Hardy was an 11-1 favorite.
And a bad cut, he might have to intercept right now. Oh! On the counter right hand! Down goes Greg Hardy, flat on his back!
Michael Chiesa reacted saying, "First, Josh ties Austin Arnett for first place in our fantasy football league. Then he sparks Greg Hardy. Incredible." Aaron Bronstetter tweeted, "Greg Hardy lost his BKFC debut as a massive favorite." Rob Dwalishvili says, "Congratulations, Josh Watson. So happy for you." Beck Rawlings says, "Like poetry, watching that piece of hit the ground." Cody Garbrandt reposted the video to his Instagram. He wrote, "Congrats, Josh Watson." John Jones was in attendance last night. BKFC reposted this photo. It says, "Look who's in the house." Anthony Smith on the Believe You Me podcast gives his take on the UFC keeping Alexander Volkanovski as the pound-for-pound #1, although he lost to Islam. Smith says it doesn't make sense to him, considering the UFC promoted this fight as whoever wins gets pound-for-pound #1.
I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know how I feel about that. all the buildup, all the stuff we did on ESPN leading up to this fight was we've never had the pound for pound number one fight the pound for pound number two. It's never happened. Mostly because these guys are kind of spread all over the place as far as the weight classes go. So we finally get it. We have a head-to-head matchup. One guy wins, and then they don't trade places. It doesn't make any sense to me. I see the argument for the resume and what they've done leading up to that point. I get that argument. Volkanovski absolutely has the better wins. Volkanovski has the bigger names. He's got the better scalps on his record. But when you have a head-to-head matchup, whoever wins, no matter what, should go above the guy that loses. If his performance versus Max Holloway the last time was a 10, or versus the Korean Zombie was a 10, I would say that the man I watched fight Islam was at like a 6 or a 7. So I think he can be better in a rematch. I think that he can take everything he learned from that and go on, and I think there's an opportunity for him to go in and pitch a shutout.
Alex Pereira warns Francis Ngannou about boxing Tyson Fury. He says Francis will get tired enough to where even a weak punch will knock him out. Speaking to MMA Fighting, Pereira said it depends on if he's fighting the elite. Boxing against Tyson Fury is hard. There are other guys for him to start. He can go one step at a time. If he really wants to fight those guys, then he's just thinking about the money. I don't know if that's the case, but to say I'm going in there because I want to become champion, that's hard. Boxing someone who can defend from his punches, Ngannou would get tired. I'll give you a dumb example. If you ask someone who's never trained in his life to go against someone experienced and tell him to hit as hard as he can to knock him out, he'll gas out in 3 minutes, and then one weak punch will knock him out since he has no defense anymore and can barely stand still. To me, knowing how to defend yourself is the most important thing. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to the new footage from the Ultimate Fighter season with Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. It's from 909 Orbits. It says Conor checking fake leg kicks is hilarious. The second one's in reference to John Jones saying that he approves of Daniel Cormier commentating for his fight against Cyril Gane. It says, could you imagine DC having a face-to-face interview with Jones? Would love to see it, honestly. And the final one says, somehow I knew DC was going to have an issue with the whole need approval to call the fight thing. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. If you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen to get caught up. And make sure to go subscribe to our second channel where we post our exclusive MMA interviews.